It has been 2 weeks since protests against the contentious citizenship law erupted across the country in India. PM Modi has condemned the destruction of public property and asked protesters if their actions have been good or not. The statements were made by PM while he was speaking at the foundation laying ceremony of Atal Bihari Vajpayee Medical University in Lucknow. He praised the Uttar Pradesh police, saying they are doing a good job. He also said that it's citizens' responsibility to take care of the public property.
मैं आग्रह करूंगा कि झूठी अफवाहों में आकर हिंसा करने वालों को, सरकारी संपत्ति तोड़ने वालों को मैं बहुत आग्रह से कहना चाहूंगा कि बेहतर सड़क, बेहतर ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम, उत्तम सीवर लाइन नागरिकों का हक है, तो इसको सुरक्षित रखना, साफ और सुथरा रखना भी तो नागरिकों का दायित्व है.
Remember, UP witnessed the most violent clashes after the parliament passed the Amendment Act. At least, in fact, 25 people have been killed across the country. Out of this, 18 have been killed in UP alone. Nearly 28 people in Rampur city of UP have received notices by the administration seeking recovery for the damage caused during violence. These notices seek a recovery of almost 14 lakh rupees for the damaged cost to public property. The crackdown in UP comes in fact after Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath promised action on protesters. The administration has also asked the 28 people to pay for the police helmets, batons and pellets damaged during the violence. Now, after a 22-year-old man's death in Rampur, 4 motorcycles and a police vehicle were set ablaze. Now, the amended Citizenship Act has proved to be controversial as it makes religion the test of citizenship in India. The Act allows persecuted minorities from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan to get Indian citizenship. It provides a safe haven to Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Parsis, Jains and Christians, but bars Muslims. Now, protest is perhaps the theme of this year, and there is a price to pay for that, though. But have we ever wondered who pays the price? Who pays for the damage for vehicles? How do different countries recover the damage to property during protests or riots? This report explains more on that.
Riot Damages Act 1886 in the United Kingdom. One of the most carefully written laws. Right at the beginning of the Labour politics and protests, it says damage to property shall be compensated by the police fund. No. But why would police pay for damage caused in riots or violent protests? Almost 100 years later, the Criminal Damage Act of 1971 sought to address it. Here, punishment was the deterrent. But it hasn't deterred violent protesters. Then came the Riot Compensation Act in 2016. The police riot fund to compensate for damaged property, even that is not working. Protests are bleeding police funds. 37 million euros. That's the kind of losses London's Metropolitan Police incurred due to climate protests alone. The Extinction Rebellion protest cost them 37 million euros till the month of October. This is twice the amount that the Metropolitan Police spent on reducing violent crime. This example is significant. Most riot compensation laws around the world are based on the model of the United Kingdom. In the US, the punishment is different for different states. If protesters damage public property, they face a jail term of 1 to 10 years. In most democracies, this has been the norm. Protesters who run riot pay for the damages. In general, a riot or a violent protest levies a huge cost on the economy. It hurts insurance companies and the government. It hurts the economy. In Hong Kong, where insurance coverage is weak like India, businesses are bearing the cost of prolonged protests. In Turkey, you get up to 3 years in jail for damaging public property. In Russia, mass riots can lead to what they call deprivation of liberty. In other words, jail for up to 10 years. In China, there are calls to increase insurance for riots and civil unrest. In Australia, the punishments are more stringent than the United Kingdom. In India, too, there are laws. The Nariman Committee recommendations clearly made rioters responsible for damage to public property. It also allowed high courts to order suo motu action. But the law has failed to make a difference. Case in point, the Patidar agitation in 2015 in Gujarat. Hardik Patel was charged for inciting violence and causing damage to property. It could not be proved that Patel called for the violence. This is the trend. The law fails to catch up. Those who run riot escape punishment. The economy suffers. Peaceful protest is the right of every citizen in a democracy. But violence isn't. There is no excuse for damaging property built by the taxpayers' money. Being accountable for dissent is the hallmark of a protester. Hiding in groups to damage property is a crime that deserves material punishment. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.